the hell do you have on?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Dry Down. Welcome to a Connoisseur's Conversation. Tonight, I want to talk about a fragrance that's in my collection that I've been talking really a lot about when it comes to my list over the last 3 seasons. It's one of the best buys, I should say, for 2025 for me. It's a fragrance that's built on citrus, cold hits of citrus with spicy sparks of like saffron inside of it, woody richness and woody ambers are inside this particular scent. And it's one that as a scent, it is a bridge type of fragrance to me. It bridges a freshness with a very beautiful depth of spices, woods, and ambers. And it's one that I'm very truly going to give you a great conversation about because I like the way this one smells. I'm going to give it a very high rating. So stick around throughout the video to find out what that is. And if this sounds like something that you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance and talk about Lucius from the brand of Fragrance Du Bois. So first, let's dive into the DNA of the fragrance. Let's get a little spray on the blotters. The DNA of this particular scent profile is one that I truly love. The top notes on this one, it opens with this crisp, juicy blast of bergamot. This sensual, like the thing about this one, not just the bergamot. Bergamot is in a lot of fragrances. It's ubiquitous, but a lot of times what we're starting to get from these fragrances is this mandarin, which is a cross breed in the scent profile between the bergamot and the orange. And it is phenomenal how fresh it opens up. It creates not only that freshness off of those two citrus notes, but they have a very effervescent pink pepper in the opening of this one. And so the citrus, it gives this clarity, it gives this energy, and the pepper adds a lift and a spark, like I said in the beginning, that is about, an immediate and very attention-grabbing type of scent profile. Very becoming of a gentleman and youthful while still being something that a modern, I would say 40-year-old will wear. Someone who has a little upbeat life. We're not old men. We're doing our thing. We're getting to the bag, having fun. Life is well for us. And so you want an energizing type of fragrance to wear on your skin. This is when that opening comes on, one of the best you will smell. It smells fantastic. And so that's the opening of it. And when you go into the heart notes of this one, that's when it starts to unfold into this orange blossom that is very rich. It's one of the richest orange blossoms. I haven't had an orange blossom like this outside of a fragrance like one of my favorites when I first started collecting, which was Kobe from the brand of Xerjoff. It has one of the best orange blossom notes inside of that particular scent. Very enveloping, not too light, not too ethereal. It's you would think as a white floral, it would come off light leaning, but to me, the way they put richness, it's almost like it's a labdanum note inside of that orange blossom that they're using, and also using inside of this from Fragrance Du Bois. That begins to then blossom with a cedarwood that it settles into. That woodiness, the orange blossom, that brings a creaminess that is slightly floral, it's sweet. It's obtuse, like I said, very thick and oily, but the cedar, it actually adds backbone to that one. So that makes it even more of an elevated notion, the way that those notes start to come together with the orange, mandarin, I should say, the bergamot, the spicy pink pepper, a little bit of saffron to me. Then you get also this beautiful, like I said, cedar wood going inside of that creamy brightness that is the top notes. The woodiness, they begin to start an anchoring process at around 15 minutes. That brightness, it becomes this smooth, like very, very beautiful interplay between sweetness and the strength of a fragrance. And it's very, very well composed, very well structured. And the architecture of this particular scent is one that I thoroughly enjoy, because that is one of the most well done transitions for me, because it does not, it has one of the smoothest blends. It's the Sfumato on this one, Sfumato is a word that I don't even know if you guys would even know. I'll put a description of what a Sfumato graph is. It's a very beautiful way that he blended the top to not alleviate and leave too early into the mid. It stays through the mid and even has a little bit of a base of it. So this is where you kind of get into what it is to unearth the real beautiful find inside this fragrance. If you one who knows about Jordi Fernandez, he loves to use saffron and tonka bean inside of fragrances. Now I know that this one does not say in the words that it has saffron in it, but he put a definite amount of saffron in this particular scent. It's through and through this particular scent, all the way the top, the base, and the mid. He put saffron in it, and he mixed it carefully with the pink pepper. It's so prevalent. If it's not in there, I'll be very surprised. But I'll take that and say you find what is in the base, one of the best notions of the tonka bean that you will find in a masculine scent. Then it goes into a transition and like a drying process that goes to this deep, dry, woody, powdery dry vetiver and a sweet, warm amber that is also dry. And so those amber rich and vetiver rich notes, they become warm, they become smooth. That tonka beans add this soft, slight gourmand touch to it. And the vetiver, that's the dryness I'm talking about, the earthiness, the freshness, the fresh earthiness. You know, the finish of it just comes this overlaying presence on your skin. It's not overtly smoky or overtly boozy, but it has enough weight that it doesn't feel thin. And that's why I like that in this particular notion. Like it comes off, that tonka bean could come to be a little bit of a boozy take on a fragrance for some. Sweet, kind of creamy, but this one here, it does have something in there that is a slightly boozy touch. I can't put my finger on it if it's like a whiskey or a cognac. I'm not even saying that it's a real part of the fragrance, but there's an evocation to it for me in the scent of a little bit of a boozy hint in the base of it. Just smelling the fragrance, it's a very beautiful 9.5 out of 10 scent for me. What really stands out about this fragrance is how clean everything is. The transition, the blend, how each particular layer is a supporting player to the other one, and that's what I'm talking about. This one structurally, the citrus, it doesn't feel like disjointed. The woods, they don't feel very buried inside of the fragrance. It's a smart composition, a smart architecture, and that's the way I love it, man. So for me, getting to the bottom of it for a composition, I'm rating this a very high 46 out of 50, a very close top tier fragrance. I have never rated a 50 out of 50, but this is one of the top that I've come across. Just a beautiful scent profile. Like I said, 46 out of 50 is very, very, very deserving of this particular scent. Next, let's get into Sillage Projection. On my skin, Sillage Projection, Lucius develops, I should say, and delivers a very strong and prominent scent profile for the first 2 to 3 hours. The citrus, the pepper combo, it very much so, it leaps off the skin because people around you, they certainly notice this particular scent. I've not been a time wearing this where someone had not noticed it in the first 3 hours. I did a short when I first got this one, which really made me very much so happy that I got it. It was the first or second time I wore it. I had a book signing to go to at the University of Michigan, and I walked into a barista or a coffee shop. The barista said something. I came out, opened the door, someone said something, sat down and had my coffee and my bagel. Someone walking past said something. Then walking into the event, someone said something. So it was like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notion of compliments coming off this particular scent. Make you smile, make you say, damn, what do I have on? That's good. It's really smelling that good coming off my skin. And so it made me dive deeper and be one who was just wanting to wear this particular scent. And it has become one of my staples throughout the year. It softens and it still stays perceptible, for hours on clothing. But that first 3 hours is where you're really going to get the bang for your buck out of this one. The amber and the vetiver base, it ensures to me that it is staying on your skin with power. And that's a great base profile. That amber rich, gray amber, the vetiver, a little bit of that cedarwood stays there. And so for me, on my skin, what I've come to find that this particular set projects with a good 7 to 9 hours of a good 3 to 4 feet. Inside of that, it does become a skin set later in the wearing, but even when I say 7 to 9 hours, it's something that if you spray it on your skin and you smell the skin point where you sprayed it the 10th, 11th hour, you're going to get a notion of what it was there. So to me, Sillage Projection is a 17 out of 20 here. It's strong performance, especially for something as fresh and as citrus mixed as this one is. I knew I had to give it something of a high score of 17 out of 20 for its the liveliness on the skin. And that's what Jordi Fernandez is known for, man. A beast of a perfume maker. He doesn't play with his signature scents, and this is one he wanted as the first marker for Fragrance Du Bois, a masculine scent. He wasn't going to be playing around with it. So that's the scent of projection. Next, let's get into presentation. Fragrance Du Bois, when it comes to presentation, doesn't cut any corners in my eyes. They do a fantastic job. They always package cellophane packaging, an outer box, and then they do a sleeve over their actual case box, which is a red velvet lined case. And this one here takes the cake for me because all of my boxes from Fragrance Du Bois have had this modern velvet box, but this one is finished with a very beautiful plush, almost like, I won't call it fake, but there's a carbon fiber weave on the box that just looks phenomenal the way it comes across on shelves. I'm hoping that I can pick up how that really is captivating. It kind of gives you, what it is to have the fragrance. You're looking at something that is very masculine on your desk and shelf. Now there's a note card that goes into the top here. While bringing it up today, I did open the box and it fell out, and I did not go back down to get it. So there is a note card that comes with it's like a note of authenticity. So the packaging on this one, it feels premium. The gold accent on the box basically, feels premium, feels plush. It's a stamped gold plate. It does not come off easy. I was going to take one of these off one day and put it on a bottle, and it did not come off easily. So that's not something that's on there in haste. That's something that's very thought out. The box closes shut with a kind of like a underlying bed. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The way it is overpitched. The way you see the bed in here, it has this layer to it that is above the actual bedding of the fragrance. So it's a really cool way to have the fragrance go in there. So you can have it leaning up, or you can have it laying down inside of the box profile, is what I'm saying. So that's the way I kind of keep them going when I put them on my desk and shelf. So the craftsmanship, it speaks for itself. That's what I'm saying about these boxes in this fragrance profile. This Lucius, the bottle, and one of my favorites. It has the traditional cap, the black Swarovski crystals inside of a black cap. Usually the cap is gold with the leaf on the top of it. This one has a black cap, slightly transparent, opaque, transparent bottle. I'll say it's about a 65% opaque. Very beautiful gray hazy bottle. The juice is great looking in there. It's like a golden juice. You could tell from the actual the visual label through it. And then the Lucius plaque is just phenomenal looking. It's great on shelf. It's darkness of the bottle. It might hide some of the juice to you, but you will get a notion of what it is to see what the coloration is. And so this one here, the crystal glass, it has a lot of weight. It's a great product to put on the shelf. 100 ml bottle. These are Parfume extract, as they say. And to me, that's a 9 out of 10 for this particular presentation. Great bottle. They sit well on the shelf. They just put them next to each other. You've seen these bottles before, but the way they did this one in black with the gold trimmings is just beautiful. And the atomizer, if you haven't seen that, is just one of the best. Just a very fine mist and very beautiful presentation. So like I said, once again, a 9 out of 10 when it comes to presentation for Lucius from the brand of Fragrance Du Bois. So when it comes to wearability and seasonality of this particular scent, this is where Lucius shows its beauty and versatility for me as a fragrance profile. Like I said, I picked this up in the spring and I've been wearing it all year long. This is one where I say that the fragrance does not have many limitations. I would say best seasons will be spring and fall, where maybe even a mild winter day. The summer, it did hit hard. It really did, but it was in those evenings where the sun was going down and it was not a 90-degree sweltering day. And so that's where I like this fragrance as a notion of like the 80 to 45, 40 degrees is a perfect little lamenting time to wear this particular scent. The citrus on this one, pepper, it gives it freshness, while the amber in the woods, it makes it a cool weather wear that is fine. Occasions where I will wear this one is where I'd say great for dinners, great for dates, great for nights out, great for upscale meetings, great for evening out, great for times where you want to just leave a signature trail, great for you as a signature scent. So I would say creatively, this is a great scent, and it can be even worn as a signature, but even on semi-formal days, if you want to have this fragrance as your go-to for that type of thing. My limitations on this one would say too much citrus in the summer heat might fade quickly. On this one, bringing up that vetiver and cedar too quickly, so it might feel a bit bold and strictly kind of like this conservative scent where you would not want to wear something like this on the day because it might come off formal. But you also, you wanted a fragrance that behaves very, very subtle on your skin. And this one can kind of shout in the summertime heat. And so where quarters are tight and you want to smell something a little less bright, or not bright, but a little less heavy in the amber and vetiver, this might have a little bit too much projection for you going into the high summer heat, which can make something of an off-putting scent profile for you. So I would say be careful in the summer heat, but occasion-wise, this can be a signature four-season scent for anyone. And so for me, this gets a strong 11 out of 15, which is a wearable scent, a strong wearable scent, and it is thoroughly, thoroughly universal for any man to wear on his skin. So that's a great one to have in your collection. Last but not least, when it comes to like the demographic and the impression that I get on this particular scent, I'm giving this a 3 out of 5 for that particular category, because to me, where Lucius balances between like a scent that is of admiration and selectiveness, it's a luxury fragrance, a luxury product, it's a very expensive product. It is one that also is a complement factor fragrance. So it's a mass appealing style while still having some luxury connotation to it. So people will comment, especially like I said in the first 2 hours, especially it's appealing, it smells expensive, but after it settles, it becomes more of a intimate fragrance later in the down, that 6-7 hour mark, which is, something where the compliments will decline, but the one who's closest to you will love and respect how that smells on you. And so the respect for this one starts to increase with that type of notion for me. The audience for this one is men and women both who can wear this. I would say mostly leans masculine due to the wood and amber on this one. So it's suited for ages 20 to 50 for the masculine leaning demographic. Beyond that, it's perfectly quality, perfectly powerful, and it's blended with fresh depth that you cannot go remiss, or cannot go wrong with, I should say. The masculinity and identity of this one is not loud, it's not macho, but it's polished. It's one that is confident. It doesn't feel brash, it doesn't feel overcoming. But if someone wants to be noticed, they will wear a fragrance like this. This is that good, it's that elegant, and it's that powerful. And so for me, 3 out of 5. It makes its impression. It makes an indelible impression, but not one that polarizes the people around you. It's less than that. It's greater than the brands that reach this pinnacle and try too hard. This one is a super niche fragrance while having mass appealing sensibilities to it. A great smelling scent profile. So to me, giving this an 86 out of 100 was a no-brainer the way I put it together. So the final score, definitely 86 out of 100 for the brand of Fragrance Du Bois and the scent of Lucius, done by Jordi Fernandez. So let's break it down again. Composition 46, Sillage and Projection 17, Presentation 9, Wearability was 11, and Impression was a 3, culminating to a sum of 86 out of 100 for this particular scent profile. Lucius is a very strong luxury fragrance with almost elite, presence in its class. It has the depth, it has the personality, and it has the performance that you want in a fragrance. So the bold fragrance story that it tells, it is not perfect every day or every situation and setting, but for those who want to be with a fragrance that is appreciative of craftsmanship and it delivers, this is a perfect fragrance for you. This is a perfect fragrance for me going into the category of this masculine leaning, fresh, woody, amber scent. So I would recommend Lucius strongly, at least a sample. So absolutely, I would recommend this one. If you're looking for something that carries both brightness and depth, something that is transitional, it has those citruses, it has those ambers, it has everything that you want with upper class notions to it. This bottle makes the feel of that present. This is the perfume that makes that feel present. Everyone in the room around you would know that you're wearing an expensive scent. And that's what I want to continue to make the notion of. So ladies and gentlemen, remember, always, scent is memory, collecting is legacy, and community is culture. And we here at the Dry Down, we are the culture. Welcome to the community. I want you guys to have a blessed day, have a blessed weekend going into this weekend, and I'll see you in the next experience. Peace.